Hey, tax lien investors, it's Joanne Musa, the Tax Lien Lady, and this is Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live. You bring me your questions, and I get to answer them for you live on Facebook. So tomorrow, and for those of you that watch the replay that aren't on Facebook, you could watch the replay on YouTube. So tomorrow I am going to the National Tax Lien Association Symposium, and that is down in Charleston, South Carolina. And I can't wait to be here next week after I come back so that I can tell you what I learn when I go to the National Tax Lien Association Symposium. I feel like a little fish in a big pond when I go there because there's some really heavy hitters, big investors, big funds, and attorneys, tax lien investing attorneys, and experts that that know even more about tax lien investing and tax deed investing all around the country. And I get to learn from them and then bring back what I learned to you. So looking forward to that and looking forward to going someplace a little bit warmer than here. I am in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, and it is starting to get cold. The trees are very pretty. We've got all those fall colors starting to happen now. So, and my cat is snoring. I don't know if you can hear that. But if you hear funny noises, it's not me, it's my cat. She's old. She's got to follow me around. All right, so when you come on, just say hello, let me know who's here, where you're from, what state you're in, so that I know how to answer your questions. And Nicole, if you're here with me, did we get any questions ahead of time from YouTube or from Facebook? And by the way, I just want to let you know that we have a private Facebook group that anybody that can join, anybody that is interested in tax lien and tax deed investing is legitimately interested and agrees to our terms and conditions, we will let you in. Okay, you just have to answer the questions, you have to agree to the terms, and then we'll let you into the group. It's at facebook.com/groups/investing for success. That is the name of the group. And Nicole, you could put the link to that group in there so that people can go ahead who aren't already in the group can go ahead and join. Okay, we have, how many people do we have in that group now? A few hundred, I think. We have a few hundred people in that group, all interested in tax lien investing. Some are tax lien investors already, and some are just starting out. And Nicole has put that link in there for the group. We've got 772 members of the group. So the great thing about it is if you have a question, sometimes I go in there and answer questions, but there's also people from all over the country that can answer your questions. Okay. Hi, Jeanette. Nice to see you again in Texas. And Texas, as you probably know, they have tax sales every month. Some of the counties have tax sales every month. And there is a handful of counties that have their sales online. Although I got to tell you, the ones that are online are probably going to be a little more competitive than the ones that aren't. And the ones that aren't are pretty competitive in Texas, right? So you've got to find the out of the way places. There are a lot of counties in Texas. It's a huge state. There are a lot of counties. So find the out of the way places away from the big cities and see what happens there. Now, the first thing that I tell my coaching clients to do is to get the results of past tax sales. And that's how they find out how much money they're going to need and if it's worth it to go to that sale. And if you have enough money, right, for those tax sales. Okay, I will tell you that one of my coaching clients went to a tax sale this month, and on a property that was, and this is land, okay, that was worth $55,000. Somebody spent $32,000 to get it. All right, and that was just for buildable land. So, but that is the first thing you want to do is get the results from past tax sales. All right, so who else is with us today besides Jeanette? Say hello, let us know what state you're in, and bring me your questions. I am happy to answer your questions for you. That's why I'm here. This is Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live. Okay, how do you get the results from past tax sales? Great question, Jeanette. And that is specific. It depends on what county and what state you're in. And for Texas, sometimes you could find that some of the Texas counties are done by a law firm. And if you go on their website, sometimes you could find that out. Other times you just call whoever is responsible for the tax sale. Sometimes it's the county sheriff, sometimes it's the treasurer. You just have to find out who is responsible for the tax sale. And hey, Jean is asking, how do you find out about land bank sales and what state are you talking about, Jean? Because land bank sales, that is what they call the tax lien sales in some states, all right? And hi, Carlos. Thanks for joining us. And what state are you in, Carlos? Oh, Jean is in PA. Okay. How do you find out about land bank sales? And that depends on the county, but some counties, that's what they call the tax sales. And in Pennsylvania, you would, if there's an attorney that does the sale, you would contact the attorney. If it's the Tax Claim Bureau in Pennsylvania, it's usually the Tax Claim Bureau, you would contact them. Okay, Carlos in California. Okay, and Carlos, California has deed sales. Some of them are online, and you'll find the online sales on bidforassets.com. Okay, so bring me your questions. Any other questions? So Jeanette, the way that I find out about tax sales, and Jean, both of you are asking about, how do you get the results or how do you find out about the sales? I use what I give to my clients, my members, and my coaching clients. I give access to tax sale finders. And that's what I use. I use that to find out what tax sales are coming up across the country and to get the information on who to contact about the sale. I get the county information on who to contact about the sale. So that's where I would start. Now, some of the Texas sales are not going to be on tax sale finders yet. And that's because they happen the first Tuesday of the month, every month, but the data isn't ready yet for some of those sales. So it won't be posted on tax sale finders until maybe 3 or 4 weeks before the sale. So it won't be posted yet. But if you want to get the information, you could go to tax sale finders to the county information, the county contact information, and get the county contact where you would find the information about the tax sale. Okay, I missed Carlos's question. What was Carlos's question? Can you describe how to come up with the exit strategy? And that depends, Carlos. Are you talking about for deeds in California? How to come up with the exit strategy? Well, it depends on what you're buying. Are you buying a lien or a deed? And because there can be a lot of different exit strategies. for liens. You could sell the lien to another investor. Usually liens redeem, but if it doesn't redeem, you could, get the property and sell the property, or you could sell it to another investor. In fact, I was foreclosing on a property and sold it to another investor while it was in foreclosure. I didn't wait for it to foreclose. I sold it for a premium, a little more than what it would redeem for, so that it was worth it for the investor to buy, because they continued the foreclosure, and when they foreclose on it, they'll be able to make money on the property. But I wasn't concerned about that. I didn't need to make a killing on the property. I just wanted to make more money to make it worth it for me. So I forget what the exact percentage was, but I just wanted a certain price, and that was more than it would redeem for. It was about maybe 6,000 more than it would have redeemed for. And I even don't remember off the top of my head what was the total we had into the property, but I think it was around 20,000 that we had into it. And it would have redeemed, we would have made about 4,000 on the redemption, but I wanted more than that. So that's just one exit strategy. And for deeds, the exit strategy is selling the property, right? Selling the property. You could sell it on owner financing. You could clear the title and sell it retail. You could, a lot of these properties are very distressed, so you might have to rehab it. Or if you're focusing on land, you could either sell it on owner financing or sell it outright, but you don't have to worry about rehabbing the property, right? Hi, Olga. Glad to see you here from Florida. How do people win tax certificate bids on the website if 50 people enter the same 0.25% bid? Thank you. Yeah, Florida made it really tough this year, because what they did in Florida is a lot of the counties did away with the, what do they call it? Simultaneous bidder rule, a single simultaneous bidder rule. I forget what it's called. It's this bidder rule where you could only register one time. And single simultaneous bidder rule, which means you cannot register in your own name and in an entity name. So they did away with that this this year for their tax sales, for the tax lien sales. So entities could register multiple times, and they had multiple bids on properties. They could bid multiple times on properties. So it was really tough to get anything in Florida this year, but still it's a matter of targeting the right properties that the big boys don't want. Okay, which is another reason why the first thing I do with coaching clients is get the results of past tax sales. Find out what types of properties are not bid as competitively, and those are the ones that you want to bid on. Okay. Okay, Broward County, to be more specific, if it helps. Yeah, it's a competitive county, right? Hey, Medi. And okay, so we have a question here from Medi. My question is regarding tax deed upset deed sales. Okay, so you're talking about Pennsylvania if you're talking about the upset sale. Now in the field, I thought I am buying deed sales without mortgage liens. Oh, not in the upset sale, Medi. You should know that. You want a property in a PA upset deed sales auction. Next I know, yes, you are responsible for the mortgage. I would contact the mortgage company and see if you could work something out. You are responsible for the mortgage. There are two types of sales in Pennsylvania. And if you had been on my list, if you had been on these, this is something I tell people all the time, right? So here's the problem. Anybody that says they're an expert all over the country is not really being honest with you, because everything is different in every state. Now, I live in Pennsylvania. I am an expert in Pennsylvania, okay? And in New Jersey and some other states that I have personally gone to, like Indiana, South Carolina, Florida, Tennessee, and that my clients have gone to and that I've gone to, New York. I could name a few, right? But here's the thing. In Pennsylvania, there are two types of sales. There is the upset sale, which happens in the fall, and then the judicial sale, which happens in the spring. So if it doesn't sell in the upset sale, it goes into the judicial sale. Now, what happens between the upset sale and the judicial sale is they notify all the lien holders and let them know that it's going into the judicial sale. If you buy in the judicial sale, it's free and clear of any mortgage or liens. But if you buy in the upset sale, you are responsible for any mortgages. But you know what, Medi? They tell you that if you went to a sale live, they disclose that before the sale starts. And if you go to a sale online, they should disclose that also. That is disclosed. You just have to read it. You have to understand. This is one of the when I go over my 5-step process for going to a deed or lien sale, for buying profitable liens or deeds. I mean, one of those steps is that you have to prepare to go to the sale. And one of the things about preparing to go to the sale is you have to know the terms and conditions of the sale. Okay, so yeah, what should you do? You should contact the mortgage company and see if you could work something out with them. If you keep paying the mortgage, or you could just keep paying the mortgage payments, and they probably won't do anything, but you are responsible for the mortgage. You could try to work something out with them. But yeah, and that's something you have to find out before you go to a tax sale. I wish you would have contacted me before you went to the sale. Yeah. So yeah, guys, share this with anybody else that you know that can benefit from this. You know, share this live, share this Facebook Live with others that can benefit. See, this is why you need to come to me first. Oh. They contacted you with what to pay, 130K. Yeah. Yeah. And did you record the deed yet, Medi? Did you record the deed? Oh, they will record it for you so that, what county did you buy it from? And did they record the deed yet? Okay, Carlos, can you describe your process to calculate holding costs for deeds? Not here. Not here, but I can tell you what you need to figure out. First of all, if you're buying a deed in California, you're going to need to clear the title if you're selling it to at market price. You know, if you want to sell it at market price to somebody that's going to get a mortgage, you're going to need title insurance. So you're going to have to clear the title. That could take some time. So you just want to figure out how long you're going to have to hold it and calculate what you're going to have to pay in taxes. And see, here where I live, it's different. I don't know if you're in Northern California or Southern California. If you're in Southern California, you might not have to worry about winterizing the property. If you're in Northern California, you might. Where I live in Pennsylvania, I would want to secure the property and winterize it. Okay. And here's, okay, so you're in North Cal. So you might have to do that. Now, the other thing that you're going to have to do is if it's, is this you talking about a house or are you talking about land? Land is so much easier, right? But if it's a house and somebody lives there, you have to have them evicted before you do anything, or you can have them pay you rent. Okay, if nobody's living there and, oh, it's land, oh, that's good, because now you don't have to worry about doing anything to the land. You could sell it on owner financing, but you will have to clear the title. And then you just figure out what the taxes are. So just to be on the safe side, figure out what like 6 months of taxes are on the property. And that will be your holding cost. You'll also need to get insurance on the property in case, somebody, uh, you know, does something on your property, right? But it shouldn't be that much for land, right? But title insurance you will not be able to get until you clear the title on the property. Now, if you sell the land on owner financing, you don't have to do that right away, but eventually you'll want to do that. Okay, Medi, do you have a good lawyer that you could recommend to me? You're in Berks County. I have a couple of lawyers here in Monroe County. I don't know if they do Berks County. I don't have somebody in Berks County. But again, this is where I use tax sale finders to find attorneys. And here's what you could do. Google real estate attorney in Berks County, PA. But I will tell you, they're not going to be able to help you. The only thing they can help you with is negotiating something with the mortgage company. And let me ask you this, Medi, what is the property worth? Okay, yeah, focusing on land is a good thing, Carlos, because I'll tell you, properties with houses on them in California are going to be very competitive and go at real high prices. So here's what I recommend you do, just like I've been talking, all through here. Whatever counties you're looking into, you want to get results of the past tax sale to find out how much money you need. Property is worth $230K. All right. So, and how much did you pay for it at the sale? Medi, how much did you pay for it at the sale? Because it might be worth it to you to pay off the mortgage. 17,000. All right. So what you could try to work out with the company is the mortgage company is payments. Work out a payment plan with them. See if you can see if they will let you take over the mortgage. I'm sure they don't want the house. I'm sure they would rather have the money, right? But they can foreclose on the property and get it, because even though you own it now, you technically you still owe the mortgage. And those are the terms of the upset sale. And if you go to court, it's not going to help you. An attorney's not going to help you. The only way the attorney can help you is by negotiating with them. So try to do it yourself. Oh, it's going to a sheriff's sale. The bank forecloses. Oh, yeah, that's not good. You will lose your $17,000 because you can't get that back. You can't get that back. And honestly, Medi, that's on you, because that is something they disclose. You can't stop that. All you can do is, I don't know. I don't know. This is out of my wheelhouse. This is what I help people prevent. And once you get into this mess, and it's as far if it's going to sheriff's sale, when is the sheriff's sale? the only thing you can do is, I don't know, you can ask an attorney if they would be able to stall it or stop it or negotiate so that you could pay the mortgage, but January, you don't have much time, but yeah, you would, I mean, you could try to contact them yourself, but it it would probably be better to have an attorney, and I don't know, I, I don't even know what they could do. They would know more than I could. Yeah, this is out of my wheelhouse. Contact an attorney. You have until 26th of October to stop the process. That's only if you pay 130K, right? Yeah, you could stop the process if you pay 130K. I don't know if there's any other way. How else would you be able to stop the process? Yeah, you need to start talking to attorneys. And I don't have one in Berks County. I have like 2 or 3 of them here in Monroe County. Okay, any other questions? And Mehdi, how did you find out about me? How did you find out about me? Yeah, how did you find out about this Facebook Live, Facebook group? And nobody in the Facebook group you were in could tell you about um, the upset sales in Pennsylvania? Hmm. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Okay, you guys, that's why you have to share this Facebook Live. Let other people in your group know about me. If you're in a tax lien, tax deed investing group, let them know that they can come here and ask their questions before they go out there and buy a tax lien or tax deed. Yeah, and that's why, guys, you need education. You need some training. And I will tell you about an advanced tax lien investing secrets course that I have. Nicole, why don't you put the link for the, and it's a new one. You know what? I'm going to put it in because I changed it. I did some changes to I actually did some last minute changes to the newsletter that went out today because I changed this link, but it works. I'm going to put it in now. It's taxlienlady.com/book/advanced training. This is an advanced training course. So, yeah, guys, this is why you need education before you go out and buy liens or deeds, because you can make mistakes that will cost you a lot of money. Like Nettie thought she got a good property for $17,000, and it was a good property. It's just that she didn't know that if she bought in that sale, she was responsible for any other judgments or liens on the property. All right. But if she had gone through a training, she would know that. And there's other things in other states that you have to know before you buy, right? So, so if you go to taxlienlady.com/book/advanced training, that's the link to my tax lien investing secrets training that I did before COVID. It was the last time I did this training, okay? It was a $1,997 training. I am now offering it at half price for only $997, and it comes with some bonuses, okay? But you could go to that page and find out. Oh, you guys can't see the link. It should be in the comments. Nicole, is the link showing up in the comments? If not, could you put it in taxlienlady.com/book/advanced-training? And this course that I'm telling you about is also going to come with some bonuses that aren't even on that page. They're not even announced yet, because I'm doing a tax sale success masterclass next week, next Tuesday night. And you will have access. It's a $47 masterclass. You're going to have access to that as a bonus. And I'm going to do another one next month. And then I'm going to do a tax sale success workshop where you actually get to look over my shoulder as I show you how to register and bid at the tax sales that are going on. We're going to do that in the beginning of December. So that will all be, it will all come with this training. Now, the significance of this training is it was done in the fall. So it goes over the sales that go on at this time of year. Okay, so that's why I have opened it up again, and I'm offering it at half price for $9.97, along with bonuses that make it current today, because we're going to do this training next week, right? And we'll do it again in November. And then we're going to do a workshop in the beginning of December. So you get 3 months in the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator. So you get 3 months access. Remember, I've been telling you about tax sale finders? Well, you get 3 months access to tax sale finders with this course. Okay, and that's just one. There's other bonuses that come with the course. You'll find out when you go to the page. And Nicole has put that in there for you. Atlas training, the Advanced Tax Lien Investing Secrets training. All right, so do you guys have any other questions for me? Did I miss anything, Nicole? Did I miss any other questions? Okay, and I will tell you guys that these Facebook Lives are also on YouTube. The recordings are also put on YouTube. Okay, looks like I covered all the questions. All right. All right. Well, any other questions? I know we have more people on now than we did in the beginning. So when you come on, just say hello. Let me know where you're from, what state you're in, because tax lien investing and tax deed investing is different in every state. And you might think you know what's going on in your state, but you might not. Okay, unless you have the right training. Like Medi thought she, Medi thought they were getting a property free and clear, but they bought an upset sale in Pennsylvania, and those properties don't come free and clear. All right, so it's really important to know what goes on in your state. From an expert, and anybody that says they're an expert in every state, these companies that tell you they're an expert in every state, they're probably not telling you the truth. Okay, so there's only a couple of people that I know that are experts everywhere. All right, and there's a couple of states that just aren't worth it, to be quite frank. I'm not an expert in every state. I know a lot about a lot of states, but there are some states that just aren't worth investing in, right? How to get notes when how do you get notice when I go live? You got to get on my list, get on my email list. And I just had a newsletter go out today, and an email went out just when we went live. Normally I send it out an hour ahead of time, but I had a real busy day today, so I didn't. I sent it out just when we went live. So Medi, if you want to get on my list, you could go to my website at taxlienlady.com, and sign up for one of my free reports. I've got a free report there that you could sign up for. And also, if you go to taxlieninvestingbasics.com, that's another really good report about the 7 steps to building your profitable tax lien portfolio. And Nicole has put another link for you to get in on the, I don't know where that one goes, Nicole. But what they should do is sign up. I think a really good thing for Medi would be that 7 steps report at taxlieninvestingbasics.com. Yeah, if you go to taxlieninvestingbasics.com, you'll get my a free report, 7 steps to building your profitable tax lien portfolio, and you'll be on my list. Oh, and Nicole had also sent you the link for the newsletter. Yeah, but you're going to miss this newsletter because it already went out. So Nicole, put the link in there for the Tax Lien Investing Basics link for the 7 steps report, because I think Medi could really use that, and everybody else on here. If you don't have it, go to taxlieninvestingbasics.com and sign up for that report, and that will get you on my list. Tax lien investing special report. Okay. Yeah, and Nicole has given you the direct link to it. All right, so any other questions? Any other questions? I'll stay here a little longer if we have questions that you guys want me to answer. Yeah, come to me with your questions ahead of time, right? Before you go to a tax sale. That's yeah, that's the way to do it. Thank you guys for your likes and your loves, and yeah, and go ahead and share this. Share this with people that you know are interested. Share it with your investing groups. You know, so somebody else doesn't make the mistake of buying at the wrong tax sale or buying the wrong property, or you know, anything that could cost you money, right? All right. So any other questions? Last call for questions. Last call for questions. I'll wait another minute. And again, if you guys want to get some training from me at half price, my advanced tax lien investing secrets training is half price right now. And it comes with a 3-month trial membership in the Tax Lien Profits Accelerator, and 2 master classes, and a workshop. Which states to stay away from? Off the top of my head, New Mexico, Montana for deeds. For liens, there are states that I just don't like as much, but they're not bad states. If you live there, they're okay. And it depends on the person too. Everybody has different goals. So that is specific to the person, I would say, which states to stay away from. But yeah, there are some states that are just not worth bidding in. I don't like states that have a redemption period of 3 years, or so I tend to stay away from those states, but they are good. And some states are not good for certain things, but they might be good for others. Like for instance, Louisiana, I don't like the liens in Louisiana because they bid down the percent ownership of the property should you actually get the lien, the property. But the deeds are good in Louisiana. And there are other states that bid down percent ownership in the property. And so those are not my favorite states. But if you live there, it's where there are, you could get around some of these things if you know what to do. So if you live in a state that's not ideal, sometimes it's good for you to find out what does work in that state and to be an expert at it, so it just depends. Like for Pennsylvania, for instance, you want to buy in the judicial sale. And if you do buy in the upset sale, I'm not saying don't buy in the upset sale. I sometimes go to upset sales. You just need to do your homework and know what liens are. And anytime you buy a deed, you should search the title anyway and know what liens are on the property, because some liens will survive a tax sale. Even the judicial sale, IRS liens are going to stay on the property. Any government liens will stay on the property. Mortgages will not stay on the property in a judicial sale, but they will in an upset sale. Okay. All right. So any other questions? If there's no other questions, I'm going to end today's Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live. I will be back next Tuesday. Now, I also do trainings. I also do free trainings. They're between 10 and 20-minute trainings, Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings. However, I will not be doing it tomorrow morning, as I am going to be traveling to the National Tax Lien Association symposium. And I will, I was thinking I would be able to do it, but I'm going to be packing. I'm going to be going to the airport. So I probably will not be able to do it tomorrow morning. And Thursday morning, I may attempt to do it. I'm going to be in the symposium. But if I get a chance to record something for you in the morning beforehand, so it won't be at the usual time at 9:30, I'll have to do it beforehand. So there's a possibility that Thursday morning I might do it live, but it would be not at the usual time. But I will be back here normal time next Monday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 6:30 a.m. Pacific, and next Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, and Jeanette is asking, how do we know if it's a judicial sale? Well, they tell you whether it's a judicial or upset sale. Now, Mehdi, let me ask you this. Did you buy at a live sale or was it online? And that is if you're still with us, Mehdi. But if it's an online sale, I'm not sure they let you know that, Jeanette, although they should. But when they advertise their sales, see, the way I find out is it's the Tax Claim Bureau in Pennsylvania that does the sale. So I usually check with the Tax Claim Bureau, but I find out on Tax Sale Finders about the sale coming up. And the judicial sales are normally in the spring, and the upset sales are in the fall. And I have to check and see if Tax Sale Finders lets you know if it's the upset sale or the judicial sale. I think they do. Okay, yeah, but that is something definitely that you have to find out before the tax sale. And again, the upset sales usually are in the fall. The judicial sales are usually in the spring. Okay. All right, that's my cue that it's time to go. So thank you for joining me today. And again, we'll be here next week at 2 p.m. Eastern Time for Ask the Tax Lien Lady Live. See you then.